Hi, it's Miss Magda.
And it's Miss Robin from the Turnip Free Library.
Yay!
We'd like to welcome you to...
Help! We turned into puppets!
We're going to put a show on for you now.
Hope you enjoy.
Yay! Once upon a time, Little Red Riding Hood decided to take a freshly baked batch of cookies to Grandma, who had a cold. Go straight there and don't talk to any strangers, her mother said. I won't, Little Red Riding Hood replied. As Little Red Riding Hood was walking through the woods, she heard rustling. Oh, little girl, said a low, grumbly voice, what are you doing in the woods? Little Red Riding Hood turned to see a wolf and answered, I'm going to my grandmother's house. The wolf suggested Little Red Riding Hood stop and pick a bouquet of flowers for her grandmother. Little Red Riding Hood happily obliged. While the girl picked the flowers, the wolf ran into the grandmother's house and grabbed her up, then pulled on her dress and bonnet. When Little Red Riding Hood got to grandmother's house, she called, Hello! Oh, my dear, come and see your grandmother, said a raspy voice. Grandmother, what a low, grumbly voice you have. The better to address you with, my dear. Grandmother, what big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my dear. Grandmother, what big eyes you have. The better to see you with, my dear. Grandmother, what big teeth you have. The better to eat with you, said a low, grumbly voice. Little Red Riding Hood realized it was not Grandmother, but the wolf. She ran out of the house. The wolf chased her and cried out for help. Luckily, a woodsman was in the forest and heard Little Red Riding Hood's cry. He rushed over, waving his sharp axe. The wolf got so scared, he spit out Grandmother right then and there. Grandmother was a bit shaken after spending time in the wolf's tummy, but she soon caught her breath, straightened her glasses, and thanked the brave woodsman who chased the wolf away. I am so sorry, Grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood. I will never talk to strangers again. And with that, Little Red Riding Hood, Grandmother, and the woodsman sat down to enjoy the cookies, which were still warm. There were once 3 little pigs named Horace, Boris, and Percy, who lived together in a teeny tiny cottage in the forest. One day Mama Pig said, You're all too big to live here, so you must go and build houses of your own. But be aware of the big, bad wolf. Make sure your houses are safe and strong. Who's afraid of the big, bad wolf? Chuckled Horace. Not me, giggled Boris. And so the 3 little pigs set off. Before long, they reached a large field. I'll build my house right here out of straw, Horace cheered. Straw? Are you sure? Asked Percy. Oh, yes, Horace said. Then it's playtime for me. And with a pat, 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 and a hip, hip, hey, Horace built a house of straw. Soon after Boris and Percy reached the edge of the woods. I'll build my house right here out of sticks, Boris squealed excitedly. Then I can go play with Horace. Sticks? Is that wise? Asked Percy. It's perfect, Boris said. And with a stack, 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 and a tra-la-la, Boris built a house of sticks. All afternoon, Horace and Boris laughed and danced. They had completely forgotten their mother's warning. But Percy plodded on. I want my house to be safe and strong, he thought. Then he came to a brickyard. This is just what I need, he said. So day after day, Percy worked with a rumbly bump and a tip-tip-tap and a heave-heave-ho, until at last his brick house stood tall and proud. The summer passed. Then one day, Horace was taking a bubble bath in his little straw house when he heard something growling. He peeked out the window and saw two big, beady eyes. "By my snout!" cried Horace. "It's the big bad wolf!" Little pig, let me in!" bellowed the wolf. "Not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin!" yelled Horace. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down!" cried the wolf. And he huffed, and he puffed, and whoosh! Horace's house flew down, down, down. Horace yelped and scurried all the way to Boris's house of bricks. "Look out!" he cried, diving behind the couch. There in the window were big, beady eyes and sharp, pointy claws. "It's the big, bad wolf!" Boris chatted. Little pigs, let me in!" roared the wolf. "Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins!" trembled Boris. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down!" And so the wolf huffed, and puffed, and crash! Boris's house clattered down, down, down. Horace and Boris squealed and galloped all the way to Percy's house of bricks. "Look out!" they shouted, and Percy saw big, beady eyes, sharp, pointy claws, and truly terrible teeth. "It's the big, bad wolf!" he cried. Little pigs, let me in!" howled the wolf. "Not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin!" shouted Percy. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down!" And so the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. But Percy's brick house stayed up, up, up. The big bad wolf couldn't believe his whiskers. "I'm the big bad wolf," he howled. "No tasty little pigs ever get away from me." "Oh, help!" shivered Horace. "He's on the roof. What can we do?" asked Boris. "Quick, I have an idea," whispered Percy. "Yum, yum, yum, here I come," laughed the wolf, and he slid down the chimney into a giant pot of boiling water. "Ow!" screamed the wolf, burning his bottom. Then he leaped up from the pot and ran away as fast as he could. After that, the three little pigs never saw the wolf again, and with help from Percy, they built one big, strong house where they could all live together. Mr. and Mrs. Baker lived all alone. Day after day, they baked big, gooey sweets, sweet crumbly pies, and popping hot pastries. But they had no one to share them with, and that made them very sad. Then one day, Mrs. Baker made a little gingerbread man to cheer them up. He had jolly jelly buttons and a big icing smile. Dusting the flowers from her hands, she popped him into the oven. But to Mr. and Mrs. Baker's surprise, when the tray came out, the gingerbread man leaped up on the table and began skipping through the sugar. "Tee-hee-hee, you can't catch me," he giggled. "Bless my cinnamon stars," cried Miss Baker as she chased him over pots and pans and all around the kitchen. But the gingerbread man was too quick for them, and he jumped right out the window. Scurrying along the path, the gingerbread man ran into a very hungry cow. "You look tasty," mooed the cow, "and what fine jelly buttons you have." But the gingerbread man just danced and pranced, singing, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man. And off he ran as fast as his gingerbread legs would carry him. With a great moo, the cow thundered after the gingerbread man, past the milk churns, through the barn, and around the haystack until, crash, the haystack tumbled over right on top of the cow. Oh, milkshakes, cried the very dizzy cow. The gingerbread man scampered up the hill. At the very top was a very hungry goat. Good day, bleated the goat. I love munching thistles, but you look even better to eat. But the gingerbread man just whirled and twirled, singing, run, 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 as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. And off he zoomed, leaving a trail of gingerbread crumbs behind him. So, the goat dashed after the gingerbread man, through the thistles, over the gate, and in and out of the apple orchard until smash! The goat butted right into a tree, and the apples came tumbling down with a thud, thud, thud. Oh, applesauce, cried the goat, rubbing his head. Tee-hee-hee, laughed the gingerbread man as he frolicked through the meadow. There, dozing as in a tree, was a very hungry cat. Hello, meow, the cat. You look like the perfect snack. But the gingerbread man just wiggled and giggled, singing, run, 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 as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. And off he whooshed, racing down the lane. Licking her lips, the cat chased the gingerbread man around the bush, through the daisies, and toward the pond. The cat leaped up, 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 and came down, down, splash, right into the wet, cold pond. Oh, whiskers, grumbled the very soggy cat. As the gingerbread man ran down the hill, he began to sing and laugh. Tee-hee-hee, I'm having fun. I've run away from everyone. A curly-haired woman, a man in a hat, a cow and a goat, and a silly old cat. But when the gingerbread man reached the riverbank, he stopped and shivered. Brr, too cold. How will I pass? Just then, a fox appeared. Hello, little gingerbread man, he grinned. May I help you? Just climb on my tail, and I'll carry you across. Brr! Too chilly, the gingerbread man squealed as the fox paddled into the river. Then why don't you climb on my back? Asked the fox. Brr! Too wet, squeaked the gingerbread man as the water swirled at his feet. Climb onto my head, smirked the fox, and the gingerbread man scrambled. But the water rose higher still, so the gingerbread man climbed on top of the fox's nose. Tee! They'll never catch me, he cried, just as the fox tossed the gingerbread man up in the air, opened his mouth wide, and snap! That was the end of the gingerbread man. Oh dear, sighed Mrs. Baker, what a naughty gingerbread man he was. I'm still hungry, mooed the cow. Me too, bleated the goat. So am I, meowed the cat. Then Mr. Baker said, let's all go back and bake something else together. So they all trotted back to the bakery to mix and stir cakes and pastries and pies, but no more gingerbread men. It was a fantastic feast with their 3 new friends, and Mr. and Mrs. Baker were never lonely again. Once there were 3 bears who lived together in a cozy little cottage. Each morning they made yummy porridge for breakfast. It was the best meal of the day. But one morning, Baby Bear said, ouch! This porridge is hot, hot, hot. Let's take a walk before breakfast and give it time to cool, said Mommy Bear. And so they did. No sooner had the bears left than someone peeked in through the window. Someone with bright golden hair, Her name was Goldilocks, and she was a very curious little girl. Goldilocks tapped, tapped, tapped on the window. "Hello," she cried, "hello." When no one answered, she pushed the door open and crept inside to explore. What a delicious smell! Goldilocks tipped into the kitchen and saw 3 bowls of yummy porridge on the table. She slurped Daddy Bear's porridge first, but it was too lumpy. She sipped Mama Bear's porridge, but it was too sweet. Then she tasted Baby Bear's porridge. It was just right. So she ate it all up. Goldilocks was very full, so she looked around for somewhere to sit. There in the living room were 3 magnificent chairs. She tried Daddy Bear's chair, but it was too hard. She squished into Mommy Bear's chair, but it was too soft. Then she rocked in Baby Bear's chair, and it was just right. "Whee!" cried Goldilocks. She rocked and rocked faster and faster until, crash, went the chair and broke into 100 pieces. "Oops!" giggled Goldilocks. She was having so much fun. "I wonder what's upstairs," she said. Up in the bedroom were 3 wonderful beds. Goldilocks jumped on Daddy Bear's bed, but it was too squeaky. She bounced on Mommy Bear's bed, but it was too squishy. Then she hopped into Baby Bear's bed, and it was just right. Snored Goldilocks. She had fallen asleep. But as Goldilocks slept, the 3 bears came home. They were very, very hungry. And when they opened the door, "Someone's been eating my porridge," growled Daddy Bear. "Someone's been eating my porridge," gasped Mommy Bear. "And someone's been eating my porridge," cried Baby Bear, "and now it's all gone." And before Mommy Bear could make some more porridge, they heard a loud roar from the living room. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," growled Daddy Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," gasped Mommy Bear, rushing over. "And someone's been sitting in my chair," cried Baby Bear, "and now it's broken." But before Daddy Bear could fix the chair, they all heard a noise coming from above. One after the other, the 3 bears crept up the stairs. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," growled Daddy Bear. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," gasped Mommy Bear. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," cried Baby Bear, "and she's still here." Goldilocks opened her eyes. "Yikes!" she squeaked. 3 very hungry bears were staring down at her. Goldilocks leaped up and dashed down the stairs. She bumped into the kitchen table. Smack! The bowls of porridge flew up, 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 and the gooey porridge fell splat onto her golden hair. "Ew!" yelped Goldilocks. The last the 3 bears saw of Goldilocks was her dashing down the path, leaving a very sticky trail of porridge behind her. "Someone's covered in yummy porridge," growled Daddy Bear. "Someone's covered in sticky honey," tooted Mommy Bear. "Can we have toast for breakfast instead?" asked Baby Bear. And so they did.